Shalom. Kal halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of GMS who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. This GMS stop and listen. Just coming with, keep pumping through this storm in the Urim, trying to flood it, man, flood this truth, man, push this truth, to wake up the elect, which the elect could already be possibly sealed, man. So we're going to keep pushing, man, and look forward to the prophecy of Amos, the 8th chapter, man. The famine of the word, man. We're going to keep pushing until then, and we in a time, the time we in now is the Lord is sifting Israel, man. He's sifting and he's bringing, like he said, he would bring us back from all the nations from afar when you read in Isaiah 60. That's why when we go out, this scripture right here, 1 John, let's see what we got here. First John 4. It says, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they be of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. So we must try every spirit. Like when we out on the highways and byways, we have different people come up. So one of the reasons, it says because many false prophets are gone out. That's one reason. Another reason is this right here is the reason why we try their spirits also. And that's what I want to get into the base of this quick lesson. This is Daniel's 9 and 7. It says, O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto us, righteousness belongeth to the house of Israel, but unto us confusion of faces as this day. It says, the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and unto all Israel that are near and that are far, right? Because you have Israel scattered all over the world, man. And it says, through all countries, whether they have driven them, see, because of their trespass, that they have trespassed against thee. O Lord, unto us belong confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. So you have, when it says confusion of face, you have in this world you'll have Israelites, since they were scattered, they went to these other countries, and they, Jake is going to breed with whatever country he go to, don't matter. He gonna take on them women, man. He gonna get one of them women, and they will have kids, man. So when you have kids, they still gonna be an Israelite pursuing the Numbers, the first chapter, even though they might grow up in Japan, right? And they would be, some of them are Helen, Helen. They grow up in Japan. They take on their mother's language. They know nothing about being an Israelite, especially if the father leave. If that father stay there and he raised that kid up to let him know he's an Israelite, then he would be a Hellenist, let him know he's an Israelite, and then he takes on the customs, But a lot of times they're Helen, man. The Jake go pop and then he leave, and then they grow up speaking Japanese or Russian or whatever, and they never know about being an Israelite. So then they come around and we push this truth, and then they come around and boom, man, it might recollect with them. So you might have a Israelite that look like a so-called white man, or look like Japhet, or he look like Elam, or he look like an Assyrian, or he look like an Ishmaelite. So you have to try the spirit, because it tells you in Romans 8, the spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High, man. So That's why I want to read this scripture. Matthew 13:36. It says, Then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went unto the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. It says the field is the world. So you ever notice the scriptures always use the analogy of a husbandry, which is a farmer, and it always uses the analogy of being on a farm, putting your hand to the plow. A plow is a farming instrument. It tells you that in Luke. If you put your hand to the plow, you can't. He that put his hand to the plow and don't look back, you're not worthy of the kingdom of heaven. Just like if you're in a field, if you're plowing, right? If you start plowing and you stop, like, oh, that's too much, then you ain't gonna eat. You ain't gonna have no crop. You ain't gonna eat, man. You gonna starve. So the Lord used the analogy of farming, sowing good seeds, man. You know, growing up, springing up. You'll notice that when you read the scriptures. It says the field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. Who are the children of the kingdom? The Israelites, man. That's who, when you read in Romans the 9th chapter, they tell you who are Israelites obtain adoption and the glory. The glory is the kingdom. And it says, but the tares are the children of the wicked. So the wicked ones, back then he was talking about the Herodians, but now he's talking about these Edomites today, man. So-called white man. They are the children of the tares, man. Right? And it says the enemy that have sold them is the devil. It says the harvest is the end of the world. Right? The harvest, when you harvest, that's the end of your crop. When it's all ripe and everything, you come through and you harvest, that's the end of the crop. You have to wait till the next year. So using a metaphor as a harvest as being the end of that world, end of the world, man. It says, and the reapers are the angels, the ones who come through and reap the crops, together the good fruit, right? And clean up the waste from the land. Those are the reapers, which are the angels, man. And it says, as therefore the tares are gathered and burnt in the fire, so shall it be in the end of the world. Because when you go through a field, you separate the base of that good seed, the wheat, right, and then the tare is that shaft that lays at the bottom. That's no good. You gather all that up, you clean all that up off the land, and you burn it. So it's basically using the analogy of the wicked, the tares, the Edomites. Basically, who you have Edomites that look like Jake. Right? You're going to have those Edomites who look like Jake. And you're going to have some of the good seed looking like Esau. That's going to be Israelites, man. But those tares, a lot of them tares, they're going to be Edomites looking just like Jake, man. You know? It's Amos. The book of Amos, chapter 9. It's Amos 9:9. It said, For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like a corn is sifted in a sieve, and shall not the least grain fall on the earth, man. Right? So the sieve is the word. This is how he does the sifting. Because when the other nations, if an Israelite is living in Russia all his life, he don't even know he's an Israelite. When they hear this word, it's gonna recollect with him. And the Lord is shaking it up right now. You know, when you see that flour, that good flour gonna come through, that bad flour is the one you get rid of, man. You know, the tear, man. And that's what's going on. That's what the Lord is doing in these last days, man. He's bringing all the Israelites, the elect, back. So the elect are going to look like from everybody, from every nation, man. You know, that's why I said the gospel will be preached to all through other nations, and then the end gonna come because Israelites are scattered all over the world. You know, when you go to that word sift, it's nawai, meaning to shake, to reel, to stagger, to move, to make, move, tremble. You know, so it basically why do we have to be sifted? That's another question. Why do we have to be sifted? That's a question. Why do we have to be sifted? I'll show you the answer. Why do we have to be sifted? Hosea 8 chapter tells you. 8:8, it says, Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein there is no pleasure, man, because they will be put among the Gentiles, man. That's how they have to be, why they have to be sifted, man. Because they're among all these other nations, man. You know? Back in Matthew 13 and 27, it says, I started 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which soweth good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. And that happened during the time of Joel the 3rd chapter, even when we were in slavery, man. In the 1600s, man, 1700s, 1500s, man. We were here in America. Hey, Esau would just come in, work Jake all day, and then just come in, man, and just take his woman, man. Just sleep with his woman and leave seed, man. And then they have to raise up an Edomite baby, man. It says, but when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tare also. Right? Then appeared that tare also. So the servant of the household came and said unto him, Sir, didst thou not sow good seed in the field? Question, for whence then has it a tare? Have it tares? He said unto them, an enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, nay, least while you gather them up, the tares ye root up also the wheat also. So when it's springing up young, you can't separate it, because you'll grab up you'll destroy the good wheat with it. So you have to wait till they're fully grown. It says let both grow together until the harvest, man. Right? To the end of the world, right? Yeah, remember it said harvest is the end of the world. And at that time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, bind them up in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn, meaning in his house, in his kingdom. So the separation is going to be at the end. The angels already know who the tares and who are the wheat, man. They know who are the Israelites, man. It's a spiritual, by the Spirit. Because once that wheat get up and the tares, once they grow together, you're able to tell the difference, man. You know. So that's why we use this word to figure out whether somebody might look like Jake. And then you bring this word out, and then you find out he bugging out like an Edomite. He might be an Edomite. The character will tell. Then you might have a search that look like an Elam or something, and he be right with the word. He believe in everything. It's by the Spirit. So the angels are going to be able to tell who are in that day of the harvest, the end of the world. They're going to be able to tell who are Edomites and who are Israelites, man. No matter what color you look like, no matter what nation you come from, they're gonna know who are the Israelites in that nation. They're gonna know the wheat from the tares, man, and they're gonna bundle them up, man. They're gonna be destroyed, man. The tares will be destroyed. You know, and that day coming is thermonuclear destruction, man. That's that day that's coming, man. You know. I'll read that Amos one more time. That was good. Amos 9 and 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us, man. So all the sinners of the Lord's people gonna die by the sword, man. All the sinners, 2/3, man. You know, whether they look like another nation or not. And all that wheat, the wheat gonna be gathered up into the barn, right? In that day of thermonuclear destruction, which is a barn, is when you put wheat in a barn, you're bringing it out of the elements, man. You're protecting it from the elements, which is symbolic of when we go in them chariots, man. That's gonna be our barn for that little while, man, to the indignation pass, man, and to the angels reap and destroy the tares, and the wheat be protected, man. You know, and in that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. I will rise up his ruins, and I will build it as the days of old, man. Because we fell from Israel fell. We fell, man. Solomon had 40 years of peace, and after that we fell as a nation, man. You know, so in that day, the Lord gonna bring us back and gonna build us up as a day of old. We're gonna be the renowned kings again and princes, man. And we're gonna have you Edomites in slavery, man. And that's your new occupation that's coming. And I hope this short lesson was edifying. All praise be to the Heavenly Father and the Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who ruled well. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, man. It's GMS Arkansas. Hey, stop and listen. Shalom.